The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
Greetings and welcome to today's episode of Bermuda's Feel Good Early Morning Show. Good day, Bermuda. I'm Terri Tuku alongside Jacky Lambert, and we are ready to bring you some feel good vibes this morning. Today, we are talking about the World Cup qualifiers for Qatar 2020. I have a finance tip for you. And we are also going to be sharing with you our fitness challenge, our very first fitness challenge to help you stay active. So do make sure you share the link with your followers on Twitter, your friends on Facebook, and if you're watching on YouTube, do make sure you share the link with your WhatsApp group to get them to join the Feel Good Vibes today. We are going to start this episode off with our Feel Good Moment of the Day. Now, as you can see, I am wearing the Bermuda national team's jersey, well, the previous, I don't even know, because BFA released a new jersey kit. Jack, did you happen to see it by any chance?
I haven't seen it. I tried to find it so I could actually look to see what I'm purchasing because I feel like I want it. I don't know. Typical Jack, right? You know,
typical Jack.
Everything Bermuda. But I wanted to wear my what is it, off level one. But
and you forgot. She forgot, folks. She forgot.
I was rushing. I was getting ready. I was like, "Where's my tea? Where's this?" I was like, "What shirt am I throwing on?" I threw this on, and then I sat down. And I looked at yours, and I was just like, my hair's already on top of my head. I have to put the shirt on and then put my hair up because if not, I'm fighting the bun. It's a lot of hair, guys.
Right.
So I was like, "Oh, I've already committed." So I put on red lipstick.
I see. It's popping. The lipstick is popping. Not lip gloss that's popping. It's the lipstick. I want to say good morning to Carmen Jen. She's joining us as well as Sean Smith. Thank you both for joining us live this morning. As I mentioned, today, Bermuda is facing off against Suriname in I guess this is their third match in the World Cup qualifiers. I think we lost the first match against Canada. Let us know in the comments if you saw that game against Canada and what you thought, because I know when I watched it, I was a little bit jaded by the commentators and how they were really not showing Bermuda any love. Did you see that match, Jack?
I didn't get to see it because the link that I got wasn't clear enough for me.
Okay.
So my internet at the time, I guess, just none of it was cooperating. So I was on Twitter. Like, I need an update. Give me an update.
We were not. I don't think anyone was giving updates because we were so mad at the commentators. They were just not showing us any love.
I remember them saying, "How are you messing up?" Whose name was it? They weren't. Was it Sequoia's name that they weren't getting, or was that the second match?
They never got Chicoi's name correct. But no, I remember one time they called, I think it was Dante Labrock. They called him that boy. And I remember I went ham on Twitter. I said, did the commentator just call him that boy? He's not a boy, he's a man, first of all.
I do remember seeing somebody had retweeted where I think it was Canada's coach was almost kind of like bad-mouthing us. And of course, Bermudians, we unite hard when anybody comes for us. We are siblings. Only we can talk trash about us. Let's get that clear. So I remember a few people that were just, going back and was just like, do you know how many people live in Bermuda? You know how small this community is? There's only like 60,000 plus of us, whereas you guys have millions. So let's not get started. We held our own. And I think they held their own against that big team that wasn't even all Canadians, right?
Well, I
Like
don't
they
know if
had
it was okay. I like I said, I canceled Canada. Like I canceled Canada that day. I was not a fan of Canada. I've never been, but I was definitely not a fan of Canada. And we have a comment here from Jamal Jack.
rocking the pink Bermuda jersey today. Yes.
Absolutely. I'm showing my full support today. I am sending them all the good vibes, all the feel good vibes, as you can tell. And I wanted to make sure that we had this conversation around the team because it's been a while since the last match. I think the second match was against, I don't remember.
Was it Aruba? No, I'm not Aruba. Why isn't that coming to me?
I totally forgot. I had it in my head and then I forgot. If you remember who Bermuda played in the second match for the World Cup qualifiers on the road to Qatar 2022, let us know because Jacky and I are both having a brain fart this morning. And I say it because we're usually on it. But that's okay. That's okay.
Because we're on it with our support.
That's the main thing. One of the things that I want to talk about with you, Jack, do you have a favorite national squad player, current or past?
Oh my God. Do I?
Not really. Jackie making up a song while she's trying to figure out what she's doing, but she doesn't.
I always end up doing that, but it's usually in my head. But I don't think so.
I think I would say for me, it would probably be Sean Goder. And I guess because that's probably the primary one that I know, I think someone that I'm interested in reading more about is Clyde Best. And I actually have his autobiography, The Acid Test. And I remember I only played football for like middle school and that was it. And so I kind of just didn't really pay attention to it outside of being a spectator. And I think being connected with the BFA and realizing that the name of the center is after Clyde Best, it kind of dawned on me like, wait, that's first of all someone very important because you only get a building named after you when you're important, right? Like there's no one just popping up with names of buildings just because they decided to name the building your name.
Like, hey, I bought you a building. Want to name it after yourself? Go for it.
That's not a gift people get. So like you gotta do something. You gotta do some work. You gotta make some impact. Yes. And so I definitely after realizing that the building was named after him and just like kind of doing a little bit of research around like his contribution to the sport of football, both in Bermuda and internationally, I was like, oh yeah, this is definitely a book that I want to read. So if you haven't, seen the book, heard the book, or have it in your bookshelf, do make sure you check out The Acid Test because that's a book that I'm interested in reading. I think it's going to help, shed some light on the legacy that was Clyde Best, or that is Clyde Best.
Yeah. My dad talks about him a lot, or my parents talk about him a lot when we discuss football in Bermuda. But it's so hard to have a favorite, especially because a few of them I've traveled with for island games and other competitions. So I have a relationship or friendship with a lot of them. So I feel like I'd get in trouble if I was just like, this is my favorite.
Okay.
They're like, really, Jack? What about me? And I'm just like, wow. Okay, guys. You're all my favorite.
Yep. So we have a question here from Monica Dunstan. She asks, what's your opinion on the similarities between Belvie's jersey and the new BFA one? And to put into context, Belvie is Antonio Belvedere, who has Triangle Football Club. It is a business that does football jerseys, but I think primarily football. I think he does other sports as well. I haven't seen too much of the other sports, but I definitely know that he does football jerseys. So Jack, have you seen Belvie's original design and the new BFA design to like make?
So I saw like a snippet. I didn't really get a chance to fully digest everything, but I don't know why in the back of my mind, I thought that he was, I thought that they had reached out for him to help with the design because I know that on Twitter he was saying, oh, I would help with the design X, Y, and Z. So I thought that maybe they actually reached out to him.
Right. Oh, and Monica corrected me because yes, I did. It's wrong to me. Alex Belvedere, not Tony. Yes. To me personally, I definitely saw the similarities. I was like, I feel like I've seen this design before, and I couldn't remember where I had seen it because I'm not that big of a football fan. I barely tell when international clubs, local clubs change their kits. So I really couldn't tell you. And so when I did see it, I said, oh, this looks very familiar. And then I saw his tweet later on that in the evening, and I was like, oh, okay. I think it's really interesting because there has been a lot of conversation around organizations not reaching out or connecting with locals that do have companies that can produce quality kits and quality materials for our national squads. And we talk a lot about, you know, supporting our own and making sure that they have the same opportunities that other persons have in their countries. And I thought it was very interesting. I don't necessarily, I mean, we can't speak for either organization because we don't know the full story. However, I definitely would love to see more local organizations connecting together to be able to help everyone elevate, right? Because our team is being elevated in this World Cup qualifiers. I feel like a lot of Bermudians are like really pushing for our team to make it or to make it far. And I feel like it is an opportunity for us to continue to grow as a community. Like, we are a small nation of, you know, population size and physically, but we make a lot of noise.
A lot.
With or without air horns. We make a lot of noise.
We only need like two of us watching them. We're taking up the whole stadium. I've been there. Like, I remember we were in gosh, there's been so many places. We watched the basketball team and we were in Isle of Wight, and a lot of the other teams had bigger supports. And then we had this one little section, and the first thing, all you need us to do is find something that makes a lot of noise, and our shoes coming off and we're smacking it. We've taken pots and pans to the matches because we're in Puerto Rico and now we have to play the Puerto Rican team, and we know that they're going to come out in full force. But Bermudians, we always find a way to make noise and be heard. So
we definitely show our support. So let us know in the comments what you think, if you have seen, you know, Belvedere's original jersey design and the new kit that our national squad will be. I think they're debuting it today during the match, and you can purchase it. So if you do want to purchase the new jersey, you can purchase it. I believe it's from Score Sports' website. You can purchase it. They have, you know, an away kit and a home kit, so you can purchase either. I believe the away kit is pink and the home kit is blue. I think that's what it was. I mean, personally, I like that. I do like the design. I've seen a lot of people say they don't like the design. I personally like the design. I do see, you know, a lot of people's contention around it. Looks like Alex Belvedere's jersey as well. So, you know, what's the scoop on that? However,
I honestly thought that they were in collaboration together.
I did too. That's why I was like, oh man. Because I thought it was his design. I really did, because it looked so familiar to me. And so, you know, it's one of those things that you kind of just have to continue to be a part of the conversation and continue to kind of enter spaces that you maybe not have been a part of before, so that you can continue to have your voice heard. Because I do feel like there are a lot of people that, you know, want to see more of us working together. And so I guess the more we have these conversations, the easier it'll be for people to kind of see, you know, we can support our own and we can, you know, all work together and get to the next level. I think that's kind of one of the things that you want to do as a nation, right? You all want to grow. We don't just want like one particular part of the nation growing versus the other. Like, we don't want football to be better than cricket, to be better than tennis. We want them all to be equally on those amazing international stages, so that we as a country can be celebrated.
That's a different conversation, because that would mean finances have to be spread out better.
Yeah, resources, right?
I mean, it is Finance Friday.
It is. That's a great segue into my finance tip of the day/week. It is the beginning of June. And if you have not created a budget for 2021 June, shame on you. No, it's all love. Do make sure you create a budget for your monthly expenses. And your budget doesn't necessarily have to be super detailed. It can be as simple as you writing out, you know, the top 3 must pay bills for the month and some fun things that you want to do for the month. What are some bills that are fixed versus variable? You want to make sure that you try to write down every single expense that you can think of. But if you don't like the detail, try to do categories. Jack, do you have a budget? I do have to ask if you have a budget for this month.
Nope.
That laugh lets me know it's a no.
I feel like Jamal and I are in the same page, like in the same little pocket in the corner. We are in the corner, guys. No, I don't have a budget. I absolutely should, because going into summer, I get invited to so many different places, and I'm just like, yeah, I'll go. And I don't ask. I don't be like, how much? Because it's in my budget. It's usually just like, all right, Jack, so you owe us $75, $100. I'm like, okay, here. And at the end, I'm just like, what is happening? What is happening here? This is not going along with my budget. But my budget is, I mean, I'm kind of stingy when it comes to spending. So like this week I would splurge, and then the next 3 weeks I'm just like, it doesn't fit into my budget. It's my favorite excuse to not go places. Like, yeah, that doesn't fit into my budget. Sorry.
I mean, it is a valid excuse.
But it doesn't always work, because my friends will be like, well, I'm paying for you. And I'm like,
oh, then that's definitely, I can't help you with that one. I definitely can't help you with that one.
No, I have work with Terry. I can't come. Bring Terry. Nope, it's not in her budget. We'll pay for her too. So see, that's all good.
Yeah. So it's interesting. I actually want to come back to a comment that we have from Sean Smith, Jack.
I saw the video release of the new kit, and this is the best kit I've seen to date. That's good.
And so this is in reference to the new National Football Squad jersey for I guess it's the upcoming, I want to say it's the upcoming football season, right? Because football Bermuda is on off season until September, I think, is when it starts. But if you haven't seen that jersey kit, we will post it on social media. The BFA posted it to their social media yesterday, and a few people have retweeted it, reposted it. So we will share that with you so that you can see it is different from the jersey that I have on today. So it's a little different. And if you are interested in purchasing a jersey, you can. They do have the website link that you can purchase it from. So you can show your support to our Gombe Warriors, who are actually playing tonight against Suriname.
I'm so excited.
Are you? We actually haven't found a link yet. I hope they have a link.
No, I haven't.
I hope they
haven't. I feel like they should. I feel like they should. I feel like they're prepped now. If not, I feel like at least one person is going to do that live stream for us on
That's
Facebook.
all we need. That's all we need. We don't actually need the broadcast just yet. I think we want it. I feel like our football players deserve a full broadcast with commentators who can kind of give some backstory to our players and really amp up and give us atmosphere. Because I also feel like, because we spoke about this with an interview that we have coming up soon around like the fact that a lot of sports don't have the same atmosphere because they can't have spectators. And so that allows us to kind of be a part of the game and allows us to create some atmosphere at home for them, because we can't go. And I definitely hope that they continue to push towards getting a live broadcast, because that's going to allow people all over the world that are Bermudians that want to represent and support our team to actually be a part of it, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it would be cool if somebody they can't do it on Facebook, they do it on like Twitch Live. That way we can still be in the comments like we're all at the arena together. That'd be awesome, because then we can just talk to each other as well.
Absolutely. And so we are talking about finance this Friday. I did share that you need to have a budget for June 2021. If you don't have one, let me know. Let us know in the comments if you have a budget for June 2021. A simple yes or no. If you don't have a budget, let us know why. Jackie told us that she is in the corner with Jamal because she does not have a budget. And I'll be honest, like, I didn't really start budgeting until my quarter life crisis at 25. I said enough was enough. And I just wanted to stop playing Russian roulette with my debit card. I would just swipe my debit card, and if it declined, it declined. That was kind of how I felt. And that was terrible. Like, who wants to be out with their friends and like, oh, your card's declined, man. And you know, sometimes how the waiter tries to be like incognito about it. Like, they try to say, do you have another one? I don't think this one's working right now. Or they'll like try to pull you aside and you're just like, no, I don't have another one. I don't know what to do. So then you got to do that like conversation of shame and talk to your friends and say, hey, do you mind helping me out? And That was not cool. Not cool at
I
all.
feel like that's happened to me once, and I was actually, to be honest, this goes into our conversation the other day. It was a side conversation. It happened to me once, and it was because my card was compromised.
Oh yes,
Because I was just like,
compromisation.
I would look and I'd be like, okay, so no, I absolutely know how much, because I would put money into that account because my card was always compromised. So I have a completely different account that doesn't have a card attached. And then I have the card. So I would transfer as much as I think I need for the evening. And then if the bill comes, I'm like, hold on, guys, just got to transfer a little bit more. But for the most part, I'd be like, that's not possible because I'm looking at my balance. And I'm looking at the amount I owe, and I have more than enough. So, and then I will call the bank and be like, oh yeah, your card's compromised. We closed it down. I'm like, when? And they're like, a week ago. What? Because I would still go to the ATM because some things would require cash. And, or some clients will pay me in cash, whatever the situation is. So sometimes I always have cash on me. And I'm sitting there confused as to why you haven't called me to let me know that my card is compromised. So I'm just supposed to be embarrassed and that's how I find out my card's compromised, by calling you. Like, what's the point of your call center? Like,
for you to call them, not for them to call you. What do you mean?
Crazy.
That sounds too much like right. We have a comment here from Sheldon Jones who says, morning, I budget annually, car licensing this month. That is one of the dreaded expenses. It's like one of those things. Okay, for context.
And it's always during your birthday.
Yeah, so for context, for if you're watching and you're not Bermudian, every year you have to reinsure and relicense your car in your birth month. And it's like one of those birthday gifts you don't want to give to yourself. It's like, this is the one gift I could skip this. I could skip this one this year.
Yeah. Happy birthday, you're poor.
Well, not you're poor, because, we don't put those words out there, but happy birthday. Make sure you keep your car licensed so that you don't get a ticket right after your birthday or on your birthday, right? Because that is not fun. Today we are talking finance tips, and today I'm sharing with you that you need to make sure that you have a budget for June 2021. It's still early in the month, so you still have time to kind of get a budget together. If you've never created one, let us know on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube. We can get one to you to help you out. I love budgeting. I do like planning a lot of things, so I definitely have I have some tips for you in that regard. One of the tips that I shared earlier was to make sure you write out all of your expenses so that you kind of know what money you have to spend for the month. Another thing is to track your spending every week. At the very least, if you never tracked your spending before. I don't recommend daily because that is a little bit overwhelming. That's too much pressure on yourself to like make sure you see every single transaction. And a lot of us use our debit cards, but when you use cash, you kind of forget that you use cash. Like, Jack, when you were getting paid from your clients with cash, did you remember when you went and spent something somewhere? Like, I had $20, but where did it go? You ever had those moments?
You mean those moments? I'm like, where did all that? I'm wearing it. Or, right, I got that bacon cheeseburger with fries.
Yeah.
Milkshake. That absolutely costs $20 because Bermuda's so expensive. Yep. But now that I think about it, I do budget mentally. So it's like a half a double dollar sign type of, budgeting, because I know how much I have to pay out every month. Like have to. And then the rest is like leisure. But my leisure, I only do a couple hundred. And then after that, I'm like, nope, you guys can't play with me.
We have a comment here from Sean Smith. Jack, we actually have two, so I'll show the first one and then the second one.
I have an annual budget, but I do monthly financial as well as compare it to last year's numbers.
And then the second comment.
It's hard to stick within because of having to deal with bank fees and exchange rates. Oh, right. Yes.
Oh, right. Because you're no longer in the country that probably issued your card. So that definitely, and that's a money leak too. If you find yourself in a different country from where your card was produced, you will have this international fees, bank fees, and they can definitely they do definitely add up. So you want to make sure if you do live in a country outside of the country that produced your debit card or your credit card, that you budget for those bank fees, because they will come. You can't get rid of them.
Hate going to the card machine. My mom would be like, like when I was in tennis academy, my mom would be like, all right, so I just transferred your monthly allowance And I'm like, okay, let me go take it out one time. That way I don't have to keep going back, because they'll be like, all right. Like one day I went and the ATM wasn't working, so I tried a different one, because this one used to charge me like $4. And then I'll go to a different one and they'll be like, all right, today we're charging you 10. I'm like, what?
Wait, what?
That is ridiculous. I don't know. America sometimes likes to play games.
Yeah, and that's one thing. So when you do get debit cards, credit cards, any accounts at banks, do make sure you read the terms of service. Even, I know they're long documents with a lot of information in them, but one of the things that they do, one of the caveats they put in there is around increases. And so they can, at their leisure, increase a bank fee without telling you. And you want to be mindful of that and take that into consideration. Like if the number is too high for you to start or too low at the beginning, make sure you keep that into consideration, because if they do make the change, they will refer back to that part in the agreement that says we have the right to update the fees, blah, blah, blah. So you want to make sure that you keep that in mind. I'm not saying that all banks do that or that you should choose your bank one way or the other based on that, but you want to kind of be informed when you make decisions around, which banks or which cards, which products you get from your bank, so that you know what to expect, so that you can budget for it. Because that's the one thing you want to kind of do, is add a buffer in your budget if and when you can. So Jack, today is Friday. We talked about the finance stuff. Now we're switching gears to our fitness challenge. So I'm mad Jackie's laughing because we're going to actually play the videos. I have 3 videos today. Myself and Jackie did the push-up challenge, and then we also got an audience member to submit their video. So we're going to play all 3 videos, and then we'll come back and have a conversation about it. There you have it, folks. The very first fitness challenge for Good Day Bermuda. So, Jack, let's talk about how it started versus how it's going for you.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so a lot of people don't know, but I got like a bad accident and I have some tennis injuries. So earlier this year, I was doing pretty well, and then the pandemic happened, and I feel like I relapsed because I couldn't really do much, like because I was going to gym, so I was able to use weights to help strengthen a lot of different parts, and then I couldn't. So, and I preferred to work out in the gym. It's just something about being in the gym that just pushes me. That, you know, the environment. We were talking about environments and being productive and stuff like that. And then yesterday I was just like, all right, let me get my push-ups in for the push-up challenge. And I went to do it how I normally do, because I can't do the wide push-ups because I messed up my rotator cuff. So I can't do wide ones. So I have to do the military, like tricep push-ups.
Right.
And I felt it all in my collarbone, and like I felt it. I was just like, oh. And then my triceps are so weak. So I'm like, all right, it looks like we're starting from scratch. So anybody that has to start from scratch with me, let's do this some more. I'm going to be doing it like every day, 2-3 times a day. So
you're going to need to, because definitely with this comment from Jamal, the baby's looking at you like, huh? That's all you got?
You saw his face. Liam was just like, Auntie, you used to do this way better. What is going on? Get your life. And I'm trying to, guys. So join me. We are going to be getting submissions from Jamal and hopefully everybody, the rest of the, you know, Bermuda Communications Group's families. So hopefully all those guys, Leanna's good at push-ups, so I'm sure Leanna will be like, yeah,
Lee be in the gym. Lee definitely be in the gym. We have congratulations coming to us from Sean Smith. He said he struggles to do one. Sean, if you just do one, that is more than Jackie was able to complete in the beginning of her second video, so it's fine. And Monica Johnson has a comment for us, Jack.
All 3 did way better than me. Well, Money, you can work out with me. We could do daily challenges of 10 push-ups a day until you guys get the next challenge.
We can definitely do that. So we're going to post that on social media. If you want to join us on our push-up challenge, and so actually, Jack, let's talk about the different levels, because we think that there's levels to
absolutely.
Jackie is definitely in the beginning. She's in the beginning stages right now. She has to restart. We said for beginners, if you can get up to 10, you're definitely in that beginner range. Up to, I believe, 20 is intermediate, and anything above 20, you're advanced. You're on the next level. We can't rock with you. So let us know in the comments, how many push-ups can you do in one set? So we'll say a set is 10 for beginners, or up to 10 for beginners, up to 20 for intermediate. And if you're doing 20 or more, you are an advanced push-upper. Jackie is a beginner.
But the first video, I was advanced.
Jackie was advanced. She was definitely advanced.
That was I had done a couple of sets, and that's why my trainer, David Henry Mouse, he used to have us do like 20 in a row. So I was. And then my cousin cracks jokes, so I can't keep a straight face around Cloud. So I started cracking up. She's so funny. But
you were definitely advanced back then, Jack. I don't know. You did say you did give Rona. You used Rona as your excuse to say that you weren't able to continue to do because you weren't in the gym. Monica has let us know that she is one in a set for me. She's a beginner. Okay, that's fine. So we're gonna do these daily challenges up to 10 for the next 7 days, and let's see how much we improve our upper body strength. So Jack, what are the benefits of doing push-ups?
So you already said, like, it will build your upper body strength, which will help with your posture. It definitely makes you engage your core a lot more. And I don't know if anybody's ever like pulled a muscle or been sore the next day from doing ab workouts. You realize that we use our core so much. So that leads into the next one, which means it's a full body workout. It makes you use your core, makes you use your lower back. So it just strengthens everything, which can actually realign a lot of your issues. A lot of us, when we're say right-handed dominant, we do a lot of things with our right. We grab things from our right. So we're constantly conditioning one side of our body. Whereas when we do push-ups, most of the times, I don't know, my right usually pushes off a lot more than my left. So I end up doing like this. But once we get that strength and conditioning with the push-ups, it starts to level out a little bit more. And then we'll have a lot more evenly strengthened muscles along our back. And when you think of full body, you want to make sure that all your muscles are engaging throughout the day. That way you don't, unalign your body and have to see a chiropractor and be yelled at every day. Stretch.
And we don't want you to be yelled at. That's a great point, Jack, too. So remember to stretch before and after your workouts. You definitely want to make sure that you stretch. Don't push yourself too far. If you get to a point where you feel like, all right, this is my last push-up, make it your last push-up. Don't try to push yourself, because we don't want to see anyone saying that they're trying to do the push-up challenge and they hurt themselves. If you can't go any further, stop.
And if you can't do the moderated version like what I did, sometimes I will do it on a wall, so it's a little bit more elevated. So you can use a wall or stuff like that. That way you can break it down. So you can really, really start from scratch. And then you can go down to the floor, and then you could do assisted push-ups that way. It gets easier.
I'm gonna try the wall push-up, because I have tried
I like the wall push-up.
You know, when you do like at an incline, so you like try to make like, don't stand straight. So do that like an incline. I feel like I actually do get a pretty decent workout. And
it's definitely, if you have the proper form and you do the wall push-ups, like I have people that used to do regular push-ups on the ground, and then I'll put them on the wall and I'll make them do tricep push-ups, and they're like struggling to get a few done. So if you get the form done, then you'll still get the full workout. So.
And real quickly, what is proper form? What does proper form look like for a push-up?
It depends on which one, but you want to make sure that your back is nicely straight, flat. So it's a nice, well, of course, we're naturally going to go down. So it'll be slightly down to your toes. You want to keep your hands underneath your shoulders, and then you want to go down, keep your elbows close to you, so they're kind of brushing the sides. That is my form. That's the form that I prefer. Like I said, the tricep push-ups. So.
That's good. Thanks for that, Jack. So that means I'm definitely doing my push-ups with good form. That's great. Yes. So do keep that in mind when you participate in the push-up challenge. If you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced, you want to make sure that your back is level, and that you, as best you can, keep your hands underneath your shoulders. And because the tricep push-up is definitely harder, in my opinion, than the regular push-up. If you are just joining us, we are wrapping up today's episode of Good Day Bermuda. We started out by talking about the fact that our Bermuda national squad is playing Suriname tonight in their third match as part of the World Cup qualifiers. We also shared a financial tip of the day/week, and that is to make sure you have a budget and to track your spending. If you have any issues with your credit or debit cards, i.e. they get compromised, do make sure you reach out to your bank sooner rather than later, so that you don't have to miss out on being able to access your funds. And finally, we let you know that we have a fitness challenge for you. Push-up challenge. You can do up to 10 if you're a beginner, up to 20 if you are an intermediate. And if you do 20 or more, you're advanced. We salute you. We're not there with you. Jack,
not yet.
us some feel-good vibes to go kick us off into the weekend.
All right. So I could probably squeeze in 2 jokes, but the first one is knock, knock.
Who's there, Jack?
Shelby.
Shelby who?
She'll be coming around the mountain when she comes.
I low-key already knew I was coming with that one.
Oh my God. Okay, another one real quick. What did one penny say to the other penny?
I don't know.
We make perfect sense.
I wish I could get up right now because, ma'am.
No, but I feel like that was made for us. Like that, we make perfect sense. Look at us. We're just vibing.
We are. We have some good luck going out to our Bermuda score from Nicholas Butterfield here. And he's asking, is the push-up challenge daily? Yes. It is daily. So whatever level you find yourself at over the next 7 days, we're going to check in with you to see if you were able to complete them. And Jack, I think Sheldon doesn't like our joke.
Yes, he does. I know he giggled, but he was just like, I can't believe I laughed at this corny joke. Boo.
Let us know in the comments if you enjoyed today's episode of Good Day Bermuda. Jackie and I are super excited. We now have 1 week done and dusted in our belt for Good Day Bermuda. It's definitely been a vibe. Stop.
No,
it's okay. Stop. I don't even want to say that. It's okay. It's totally fine. Let us know if you have any feedback for us. If there's anything that you want to see on Good Day Bermuda, do make sure you reach out to us on all social media platforms that we have, which is Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. And we have some more congrats coming our way from Nicholas. Thank you so much, Nick.
Thanks for your support, guys.
We appreciate it. And we will, if all goes well, I'm stealing a line from Jamal. If all goes well, we will see you right back here next week for more Feel Good Vibes. I'm Terri Tuku alongside Jackie Lambert. Peace. And until the next episode, have a good day, Bermuda.